Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the LRS GT series where we're here for round 2 Sunshine Island Bahrain race. Just currently taking a look at the standings. We have MTL first with 11 points, Blue in second with 10, Demi in third with 8, Fonzie in fourth with 7, and Dux again in fifth with 6. We have 5 other drivers and of course still 10 drivers with 0 points, but let's see if they could get themselves points here or maybe in another race in the future. It's about to start up. Keep an eye out for the next 2 races, those being the Blank Watkins Glen race and the Lyrical Records Daytona race. We're going to go on the Daytona road course for that one. And for Watkins Glen, it's the classic, or it's the Bushik game one with the boot section. So it won't be the stock car version, which is without the boot section. Let's take a look at the qualifying session here. Of course, starting off with Blue the Demon, the race winner of Imola, or Mugello, excuse me. He is here with us today on Bahrain. Was driving the McLaren, and we're gonna drive the same one. This is actually funny enough. Right after the Formula race, we did LRS Formula, and now we're here for LRS GT. After the Formula drivers raced here, and it was a very interesting race. Of course, many drivers had to, or like there was a few drivers that crashed and had to pit. But besides those, it's gone very well. It's gone very, very well. So we have Blake Easyoy with the 39. Also getting ready to do the qualifying session, and yes, these guys will also be racing the same format as, or the same layout as the Formula drivers. The only series that don't drive in this format or in this layout is the prototype series. They race in the endurance layout, so it's pretty much that. Then you go down there, and then you have that whole chicane and repit. And that's what they drive. So looking at the number 5 of Ricky. The driver that got into an accident at Mugello last time. Now here in Bahrain, driving a Ferrari and intoxicated. Another driver you should keep an eye out on, of course. Soon about to be signed by Arkham Motorsports. Let's see if he can impress the Ackerman Motorsports owner here at Bahrain today, if this Blue Demon starts his qualifying lap. We also have Pluto here, the 14, the brand new driver, who was in, who was of course the replacement for another driver that has been kicked out of LRS due to sheer amounts of controversy. I won't go into detail about that because that's a whole absolutely completely different box of whatever. I don't want to talk about all that. Not in the mood for it, man. I'm not in the mood for it, man. So let's not talk about it. Either way. We have Anastasia here also getting ready to do a qualifying lap. Gets close behind the Ferrari of Kanzi. And the Nissans are actually surprisingly fast on the straights. They are surprisingly fast on the straights. So this might be a good day for the Nissan drivers, depending on how they'll be doing here. Kanzi crosses the line and he's about to start his lap. Meanwhile, Stacia crosses the line, gets a 1:15.848. Meanwhile, Violet Sky in the Porsche with a 1:14.462. As Anastasia lets Kanzi by there. And Blake Easyoy also in the top 5. Now outside of the top 5 is Intoxicated puts his Porsche right behind Violet Sky. JKR in third with a 1:14.808. Meanwhile, Metro with 1:15.377, making that the fastest lap of the 1:15 drivers. Let's see if any of them could go even further beyond and even into the 1:14. As the lowest we have so far is already with a 1:16.962. But I think that's more so due to traffic. I think that's just Audi not having a proper run. As Ellie puts that Lamborghini even closer. And so do Pluto and even MTL, who gets himself into fourth with a 1:15.104. And we might see a classic battle. We might see a classic battle come to fruition here. And that is none other than MTL versus Intoxicated. And Shiny now with the fastest, threading that 1:15 as close as possible with a 1:15.050. Just 51 milliseconds shorter, and you're at JKR's time pretty much with a 1:14.999, and then that'll be funny if that is the case. I mean, then again, you do get into the 1:14 margin then. No complaining. Fuego comes over to the straightaway next. And Metro in fourth currently with a 1:15.031. Of course, Jimmy Fuego, he was here at Bahrain during the Formula race. And now he's ready for the GT race, of course. He won the Formula race here. He took that victory here at Bahrain. And let's see if he could go back-to-back here at Bahrain. Although the chances are not that huge, since he does drive a Mercedes, but he could whip that Mercedes extremely well. I mean, we're looking at the driver who's third here so far. That's none other than JKR driving the Mercedes AMG GT3. Specifically the Ackerman Motorsports one. There's also been rumors of teams already being made so far. And yeah, of course, in Legends 2, we're going to have a bunch of teams. Drivers are already being signed so far. So we already have drivers being signed. And we already have a group of drivers here, like it's an actual race. Like everyone close to each other, like close quarters racing. And I love that. I love that we're already doing this so soon, as Renacci has the slowest time. And Audi has the second slowest time. Meanwhile, Ellie in 12th. Back to the driver in third, and that's no other than JKR. Ended up 10th in Mugello. It took that final spot in a stock car. Ended up all the way in 14th due to him being in an incident with he was in an incident with KL6 at Michigan. But let's see if he could improve here and get himself into the top spot possibly. I mean, he is third, so he could definitely get a podium here, and it would be nice for the Dutchman to get a podium. And although I'm so used to seeing the yellow Ackerman Motorsports car, it is nice to see JKR drive in the classic Ackerman turquoise. Danny Allister, also another driver here. Of course, not part of the it's part of Prototype, and unfortunately Prototype has to be redone due to Assetto Corsa messing up. So his results we'll see soon. But he has been testing the prototype cars too, along with the GT cars here. As we look at Jim Fuego crossing the line. And let's see if he can improve. He definitely improves. As I said, he drives a Mercedes. He could do it. Just gotta whip the thing and you're done. You're good so far. And there's already a pack of cars over here, all trying to get ahead of one another. It's qualifying people. Y'all can do this after like 1.5 minutes. Not now. I just want to see drivers cross the line properly, not have like who's gonna cross it first. I want to have it so who's gonna cross it the fastest. We have half a minute remaining. Time is ticking. This is to be D-lap for multiple people, including the 7 that we're looking at right here, Kanzi. Currently is 6. He's sitting comfortably, of course, the fastest of all the 3 Ferrari drivers. Those being Ricky and Pluto. Meanwhile, already at the bottom along with Smoke Hero. And both of the BMWs kind of in a Nissan sandwich at the moment. I mean, Artie is literally behind the Nissan. So qualifying session here comes to an end. We're looking at these drivers all coming over to the finish line. We're going to see who's going to be improving on the qualifying session here. If anyone could possibly get themselves out of the mud or any worse situations here. And today, it looks like it's not a good day for the McLarens. As they were going, they were 1-2-3 last time. It was a McLaren lockout at Mugello, but here at Bahrain, they are far behind the pack, and it's not looking good. It might look like a Porsche front row lockout. The last time we had a McLaren podium lockout. Let's see if any of the Porsches could do it. But across the line, let's see who's going to improve on their runs. I see no improvement at all. Oh, I do see an improvement in this Danny Allister, who joins along with the 2 other Mercedes drivers. And now it's 3, 4, and 5 for the Mercedes. So it might look good for those guys here. As we have Soldier crossing the line. And no improvement. Making that Violet Sky, Intoxicated JKR, Jimmy Fuego, and Danny Allister, the top 5. Really solid line here. It's about to go green. 14 laps around Bahrain. Let's do it. Already a lot of pushing and pulling as there's drivers who had difficulty getting ahead of one another. Now, Intoxicated on the inside. Now Violet Sky had to give that position back, and I don't think any of the Porsche drivers want to hit each other. Because, of course, these are very expensive cars. So damage on these cars will be a nightmare to deal with. Not only cost-wise, but also repair-wise. I don't think they want to have the everyone else in the pit crew or in the pit box like completely fix their car again overnight. We have Demi over here getting ahead of Blue the Demon. Blue the Demon also putting pressure on the 77. You see Danny Allister getting even closer and closer to Jimmy Fuego. Kanzi side to side with JKR. Lap 2 out of 14. And Intoxicated in the lead so far. Very comfortably in the lead. Over half a second. So no worries about any types of position as such. Lots of push and pulling over there up front. Looking at Blake Easy in 16th so far. Stacia gets ahead. And now the 39 has to find a way to get ahead of one of the other. Smoke Hero's trying to get closer. Ricky had a little bit of an issue as he was swerving over there. I think he lost control over the car. And now the Ferraris and the McLarens and the Nissans are bunched up together. Lots of cars are bunched up right now. And we might see a Nissan possibly in the points margin as Stacia keeps getting ahead of one driver and ticks them out one by one. As I said, this might be a good day here for the Nissans. But I don't know, I'm going to pop the champagne too soon as we're looking at JKR getting side to side with Danny Allister here into turn 1. Still side to side. And now Danny keeping in spot. Now JKR later on the brakes. spears that Mercedes ahead of the other and takes that 5th spot away from the 17. Now the 72 is going to try to hunt down the 1. Now let's see if Shiny is able to do so in the first place. It is so laggy. There's 20 cars all racing against each other with headlights on. So if it looks choppy, my apologies. That's just the actual game suffering. But if we go to other places, then it should be running way smoother. Blake Isayo is side to side. Right behind Slana. Could try to go for an overtake as soon as possible. Never really see him trying to go for an overtake here. The 39 gets ahead of the 69. And does a fantastic job doing so. Slana had to go on the grass there for a bit. Side to side going into lap 4. They're still side to side into turn 1. Let's see who's going to come out on the top there. Anyway, we are looking at JKR getting closer and closer to Shiny here. On the inside, let's see, the 72 will have the power and the skill to do so. Gets still side to side with the Lamborghini. And now the Mercedes ahead of the Lamborghini in a very insane way. Takes that spot away from Shiny. Now Danny Allister is going to make it another opportunity. He's going to try to get ahead of Shiny too. He's going to go back to back. Meanwhile, Kanzi putting pressure on the 17. It's about to go into the next turn. Whoa. Gets really close. And Danny, same situation as Slana. Had to go far on the outside, even on the grass at a bit. But he's back onto the field here. Constantly putting so much pressure on Danny Allister. But it's not really because he's trying to put pressure. Meanwhile, he's also trying to escape from Shiny from Metro as Shiny gets ahead of JKR. Ahead of these two. Lots of battling here and there. Jimmy Fuego comfortably in third. He could go from a first to a third. He could get a podium here too, from one sport to the other, back to back in a single week. That'll be insane to see as a driver. That'll be insane to have as a driver, going back to back. And now all we need is Jimmy Fuego winning the prototype Bahrain race, and he has the Bahrain Beast achievement if he wins here. To lap 6. And finally it's Sky now in the lead. Oh, a little bit of a contact there between Kanzi and Danny Allister. Kanzi did back up though, he didn't keep pushing. He didn't continue pushing. That is a nice, very, very good sport. A very good sporty move from Kanzi. Did not go too aggressive. Very, very sport from him. Very sportive. Looking at the 17 behind Shiny. Meanwhile, Jake are far ahead of Shiny. But he doesn't have much longer. Pluto going a bit shaky over there. I think he made a little bit of contact, or he tried to swerve a lot and almost hit something. Over to turn 1 here. More than half of the race led by the Porsches. And so far, it's Violet Sky who is in the lead. Meanwhile, Blue trying to squeeze that McLaren in between the battle over here with the two Ferraris. And they're about to go free wide. Oi, oi, oi. They were going free wide into that turn. Oh, wow. I've never seen that in GT. Never seen that in LRS GT. That is insane. God, that woke me up there. Oh man, that was beautiful to see. Lap 8 so far, Kanzi in 7th. Now Ali close to the Ferrari. Let's see if the 93 could overtake the 7 either now or in another lap. Meanwhile, the leading Nissan driver out of the Nissan, the 4 Nissan drivers, Stasia, currently in 15th. Of course, no points for the Mexican, but still leading the group of Nissan drivers is a very nice thing. Until lap 9, they're about to go. To the straightaway, many opportunities of overtaking here and there. Dude, I love Bahrain. I'm so glad we added this to the calendar. It's such a good circuit. I mean, Bahrain, I've never hated Bahrain. I mean, I didn't like Bahrain that much beforehand, but not like hate to the point I went out of my way. I was like, nah, this track sucks. It just wasn't my type of track. But like, when you think about it, the layouts are so genius. Like, Bahrain is such a good circuit. It's such a good modern circuit. Out of like, because like, you know, you got the classics, you got Monza and Silverstone and such, but you also got your moderns like Bahrain and I don't know. Oh, what's another modern circuit? I genuinely don't know. I'm just thinking, but those ones are very much like classics. Now Danny Alliser getting closer and closer to Shiny. Danny could make it a 3-4-5. He could do a free lineup Mercedes. And that'll be a really nice thing right here for them. Now Ellie on the inside, 2 birds for 1 stone right here. Spear that Lamborghini in between the battle between with Shiny and Ganzi. Spear that Lamborghini ahead. But now let's see if the 93 could keep that spot. Yes, she can. Smoker pushing Anastasia even lower. Three more laps to go. It is literally, the cars are all coming together. It's Porsche, Porsche, Mercedes, 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 Lamborghini, 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 Ferrari, McLaren, Ferrari, Ferrari, McLaren, McLaren. It's like everyone is together. And it's like everyone's fighting in their own league at this point. Two more laps. And Violet Sky comfortably in the lead so far. Waving white flag, one more lap to go here around Bahrain. Let's see which of these drivers will get themselves another position here, especially the drivers in the back. Metro on the inside. Can he keep that Lamborghini ahead of Shiny? Meanwhile, Shiny getting a lot of pressure from the other drivers. So waving the black and white checkered flag we are looking at. Violet Sky coming over to the straights. And the 94. She will take victory lane right here in Bahrain. Itasigeta coming home in second. And Jimmy Fuego, from a win to a podium, gets 2 podiums here at Bahrain in one single season. Beautiful rides here. Jake on 4th and Danny Allison in 5th. But a Porsche lockout. Beautiful job. Empty onto the pits. I think he crashed. Either way, Ellie in 6th, Metro in 7th, Shiny in 8th, Ricky in 9th, and Kanzi in 10th. Pluto just missing out on the podium. And everyone else also outside, and it is not a great day. It is the exact opposite of anything that the McLaren drivers wanted here today in Bahrain. But there are still a lot of there's still a lot of races this season, making that the Bahrain race. Results: Violet Sky first, Tusker second, Jim Fuego third, Jacob fourth, Danny fifth, Ellie sixth, Metro 7, Shani 8th, Rick in 9th, and Kanzi 10th, making that the results. And also Violet Sky with the fastest lap, too, making that the results here. It's going to be taking a look at the standings. We're going into Watkins Glen with an insane race here. Violet Sky first, Intoxicated also first, both of them tied. And Jim Flake on third with 12 points, MTL with 11, Blue with 10, making it the top 5. But also the drivers underneath that, they are 4 drivers tied with 8 points. All 4 drivers tied for 6. Those being Denny, Jaker, and Kanzi, and Pluto. And meanwhile, we still have, who are the drivers that don't? We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 drivers with 0 points. Meanwhile, the lowest for anyone else is 2, making that the LRS GT race at Bahrain. And we'll see you guys next at Watkins Glen for the blank Watkins Glen race. So until then, take care.